good news to report in the Eat Your Backyard Nation. This is your November update to see what's growing on around the yard. It's not part of the What You Got Growing On series, but it is going to give you an update of what is currently growing. And you can see it's a beautiful fall day in Central Florida. Very beautiful. Look at that giant lily in the sun. You can also see my shadow. Isn't that fantastic? Oyster plants all doing very, very well. There's another little lily that I planted from a seed. Dreadlock crotons just proudly representing. Got a glorious giant purple lily, which is framed by this Dracaena and the overarching Hayden mango tree, one of the finest mangoes, I dare say the king of mangoes, except for all the others. Okay, so what's coming in terms of fruit? Well, I think we're going to be able to find a Barbados cherry. Let's see, this is the Barbados cherry forest back here, and what can happen is, well, the first thing that can happen just happened, and that's me running into a spider web. Now the second thing that can happen is you find a cherry, and they're kind of hard to find, really. Kind of hard to find. And I'm not actually seeing any, so I'm not going to overdo it. Actually, I see some green cherries, but I do not see the red cherries. And another thing we can do is look on the ground here for any cherries. You can see I've got a lovely banana tree composting there. Of course, we've always got aloe growing, and I've got, at one point I had many varieties of aloe growing. And we are now down to just a few varieties, down to 3. Guilty pleasure. This is a beautiful variety, not the typical one used for the medicinal purposes. And you'll see like all of the things that are just happening to grow back here. And after years of, I do let a fair amount of it just grow. And what I don't let grow, like this, I was making sure that that wasn't a carrotwood tree. That's a pepper tree, a Brazilian pepper tree. They come out very easily when they're this size, and then it makes terrific mulch. This is a type of little woody shrub that's native around here. I don't want it to get too big, so I just kind of return it back. Here's another one of those pepper trees. You can easily see what's invasive by doing this. Another like little woody shrub, same kind of idea. I just lay them all down and they return back to the earth from whence they came. Another one of those pepper trees. So yeah, the pepper trees were trying to set up camp here, but we're not going to let them because they would overgrow everything. There you go. You can see the distinctive seed of the pepper tree quite easily there. Quite easily. But that'll die. No problem. Okay, but then we see things like this, which I do not know exactly what that is, but I do like the look of it. It's nothing that I can easily identify immediately. So I'm actually going to take this and pot it. I'm interested enough in this ad hoc discovery here to plant it. Could be a native plant, but this is one of the things I like to do, which is just to come back here, see what's growing naturally, what the birds and the insects and the things and animals have deposited, and see if there's anything I want to put into a pot and try to grow. Of course, we've got these Mexican petunias everywhere. I don't sweat those too much. We usually just come in one fell swoop and deal with those all at once. And looking down here, again, all you really see are the same kinds of things. The things that are always successful are growing. These Brazilian pepper trees. Look at how many Brazilian pepper trees. I don't have a Brazilian pepper tree within probably 500 feet of my location. But yet they are definitely setting up camp in a big way. So anyway, oh, look at this. Here's another one. Same kind of tree as that last one. Interesting, because it has a reddish trunk on it, but those beautiful ovate leaves. I'm very curious. And then what we call the spongy fern. That's a classic, spongy. That can be somewhat invasive too. I'm not going to really let that one go. Take a look at this. You see those? They look like little onions. That's what this plant grows into. And if you let it grow, these are like little potatoes and they just keep growing and growing. It's very hard to get rid of once you let it kind of take root. So I'll make sure to remove that one. I'm going to put that on the pile of stuff I'm removing. But as I go, I could find more and more interesting things back here, I'm sure. I've already found a few things that interest me. But this Chinese this Chinese tallow tree, we've actually got one of those growing in the What You Got Growing On series, is right there. That's one that sometimes interests me. Again, holy moly. Wow, okay. Bonus. Look what I just found. You see, you have all these little common, like I said, woody shrub type things that I just pull up and turn back into compost right where they came from. But then you have this sticking out amongst the seemingly endless morass of weeds. That's a croton, my friends. That's a beautiful croton, and I think I know exactly what kind of croton that is. One that I've had a lot of difficulty growing from cuttings, although I got one going as part of the What You Got Growing On series. Look at that. You can tell it's croton because look at the coloring in the leaves. No other plant really does that unless it's suffering. This one does it by its very nature, so I'm going to dig that up and pot it very carefully. But I'm just happy to have discovered it at this point. That's amazing, and I know exactly which one it came from. So let's go look to see if I remember it having seeds. It was this. Now, if you're not a familiar enthusiast of the croton, you may not know how wonderful and how many varieties there are of this plant, but this is my favorite currently. I change favorites over time, but this is my favorite currently. What a beautiful rainbow salad of wonderfulness this thing is, and it's just tough to propagate from cuttings. If I plant 5 cuttings, I'm lucky if I get one to sprout the way I do it. I'm sure there's better ways. But it had seeds on it, I noticed, and I might have even jammed a few around, and I don't know if that's what's also what we noticed growing around here, but I don't think it is. That's distinctly different. But the fact that I found a croton that had grown from a seed is deeply, deeply satisfying to me, and I'm glad you were able to be a part of it. Now, here are some remnants of some smaller lilies that I had growing over the years. I like to have these natural zones where we just kind of let stuff be. And I'll tell you, I'm also going to exploit this zone to add more edible stuff. This was one thing I've been growing here for a while, from a seed, which is another Suriname cherry. And just started to grow just like all the rest of these, and I just allowed it to grow. It looks fantastic. It's growing up amongst this Barbados cherry. That shouldn't be a problem. I wish I could have shown you a Barbados cherry, but if wishes were fishes, but they're not. Okay, so let's see what is actually growing back here. The chocolate pudding tree, by the way, which I trimmed way back, has come back with a passion. It is fully gigantic and bushy again. And I'll tell you that chocolate pudding fruit is an unusual, novel thing, and it's already got at least one fruit that I found in it. That's a good one. Okay, let's see what else. Well, we certainly have Suriname cherries, a healthy crop of those coming in. Look at that. That's good. That one's getting eaten. And of course, star fruit, bumper crop at all times. Finally, lemons have also been plentiful. And mulberries, just sporadic, but plenty. Plenty of mulberries, even though they look kind of sparse. I'm going to be trimming this mulberry back big time this year, and it will really bush up and produce a lot of fruit. But now it's just kind of tired, kind of played out. You can always count on bananas. You can always count on sugarcane. We've got plenty of sugarcane growing, and my banana grove is, well, it's on fire. Last thing we'll look at is just to take a look at the old northern end of the property banana grove. And I'll say if there's anything in this video you are interested in, I have links to most of them in the description. Go ahead, click on those, go to Amazon. Anything you get supports the channel, doesn't cost you anything more, and anything you purchase while you're there will help the channel. Look at that. That's a healthy, sun-drenched group of bananas, much like this one. Yeah, and this one. See if we can get a sniper shot right between them. There it is. So they're just bananas everywhere. And plenty of healthy pups. Recently did a couple videos. You can go check them out on bananas from pups, growing them from pups. We can see we got healthy pups. This is a fairly big variety, and these are getting ready to go. And they're all growing in the right place. That's the key. When the banana pup, the juvenile banana tree starts to grow, you want to make sure they're in the right place. If they're not, you want to move them. I had one that was coming up directly under this paver. Lifted it up, actually, the whole thing. Got it out of there, reset it. Now it's in a pot growing, and I'll be able to put it in the place I want it to be, or put it in a new spot, or give it to a friend, or whatever. But so there you have it. That's the November update. I get requested to make this particular kind of video quite a bit, just, you know, give a monthly update. So this is the November, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, go ahead and give a comment, give a thumbs up. Tell a friend to subscribe. That always is helpful. If you turn on all notifications on your YouTube subscription, then you can be notified every time I have a live stream, and I've been live streaming every day, many times a day, some days. Thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard. I hope you have a great day.